Welcome, dreamer. Let your thoughts drift away. Let the noise of the day soften into stillness. Before we begin, please put your phone away. There's nothing to watch here. No flashing scenes, no distractions. This story isn't for your eyes. It's for your mind. So you can slow down, so you can rest. Close your eyes. Let the screen go dark, and listen carefully to my voice. Tonight, we'll ride together, not across land or sky, but through the edge of everything we know. Far below, Earth is already a memory. Cities dim, oceans stretch like velvet. A launch cradle rises from the Pacific Ring, a gentle arc spiraling upward. The train begins, not on a track, but in a shaft of light, lifted from the atmosphere by gravitational resonance. No shudder, no fire, just lift. The blue fades, then black, then starlight. A voice whispers, "You've left nothing behind, only brought forward what rests in you now." This isn't a dream. It's the final train. A journey across the last arc of light, past the final moon, into the outer dark where silence hums like a lullaby. This is not a story about endings. It's about arrival at the furthest border of wonder. So hold tight. You arrive at the terminal, just as the sun kisses Neptune's horizon. A cool blue haze hangs in the air, infused with faint magnetic pulses that whisper through the floor and into your bones. The scent of chilled ozone blends with something sweet and unfamiliar, like crystallized mint drifting from the station's ambient gardens. Soft chimes echo at irregular intervals, not to signal departure, but to calm the nervous systems of travelers. Wall panels ripple with bioluminescent symbols that adjust to your gaze, offering gentle guidance with no need for words. Tiny drones hum overhead, silently cleaning the air and diffusing microbursts of calming mist scented with stardust resin. Even the gravity feels intentional here. Just heavy enough to ground you, just light enough to let go. The station is alive, not with noise but with light. Passengers walk in silence, the soles of their shoes barely brushing the translucent floors. The final train glows along its track, long and silver, sleek as a whisper. It hums with anticipation. No announcements, no boarding calls, just a door, open, waiting. You step aboard. A brief pause as your presence is registered. The air shimmers, then shifts to match your neural rhythm. A soft tone plays in the background, not for the ears, but for your nervous system. Gentle. Your belongings dissolve into light and reassemble into a niche near your seat. No tags, no labels. Everything recognized. A slender arc of light extends from the wall, scanning your face with warmth. Not surveillance, but welcome. A fragment of your most peaceful memory flickers in the corner of your mind, anchoring your presence. You feel the gravity recalibrate. The train breathes in time with your heart. A voice, quiet, genderless, welcomes you. This is the final train. You may rest now. Inside, the corridor adjusts to your presence. Colors warm, lights soften, and gravity tunes itself to your pace. The walls gently shift hue with your heartbeat, flowing from cool sapphire to soft rose. Embedded filaments flicker with microdata streams, constellations, star charts, and archived dreams from past travelers. Passengers sit quietly in alcoves, shaped like tree hollows. Some meditate, others cradle luminous artifacts, memory stones, folded paper stars, holograms of loved ones frozen mid-smile. One traveler dips their fingers into a bowl of starlight, watching it ripple outward in glowing circles. As you walk, the floor murmurs underfoot, not sound, but sensation. A subtle vibration keeps time with the train's rhythm. Ahead, wind chimes made of dark matter resonate with your movement through space. You find your seat without looking. It's already yours. It welcomes you like an old friend, reshaping subtly as you sit, adapting to the contours of your back and breath. The fabric is not fabric, but memory foam spun from ambient pulse. A glowing ring appears above the armrest. No buttons, just intention. You think of silence. It deepens. You think of weightlessness, and your seat reclines. You feel neither floor nor sky, only support. Then, motion. No lurch, no roar, just hush. The hum of ion plasma conduits waking beneath the surface. The view outside your window tilts. Neptune's haze fades. Stars rise. Light-bending tech obscures motion sickness. Instead, it feels like gliding through a thought. The stars begin to smear outward. Planets drift past like lanterns in water. Each moment stretches. Each breath lengthens. Across the aisle, an older woman weaves something with glowing thread. Her hands move steadily, rhythmically. She doesn't look up, but you feel her awareness touch yours. A brief nod, without words. You don't speak. You don't need to. The train continues its steady pace, a whisper through the cosmos. It passes Jupiter's ice moons like skimming over memories. Europa gleams in pale blue light. Ganymede pulses with a golden shimmer that hums just beyond sound. Beyond the dining car lies the Neural Lounge, a softly lit chamber where dream synthesis pods hover like open flowers. Travelers rest in quiet alcoves, surrounded by glowing orbs that pulse with curated dreams. Some nostalgic, some not yet lived. One traveler floats gently inside a field of shimmering language. Another breathes deeply while a spectral bird hovers above their chest, reflecting each heartbeat with a flicker of light. Further down, you pass the Room of Forgotten Tongues, a vaulted space, echoing with ancient languages spoken aloud by soft light holograms. No translation is offered, only sound and feeling. Lullabies, prayer fragments, mathematical symphonies composed in extinct code. You linger. A phrase in a language you've never learned curls around your ears, and yet you understand. Not the meaning, but the memory behind it. A parent whispering to a child, a farewell no one heard. A narrow arch leads you into the memory garden. The air here changes, warm, sweet with a scent like starlight steeped in rosewood. The floor gives way to a clear, circular path suspended above a slow river of liquid light. Blossoms hover above the walkway, glowing softly, each one flickering with memory. You pause beside one. It pulses in soft yellow and deep emerald. A vision rises. A hand extended in a summer field. A song sung under a glass roof. The smell of clean sheets and ozone before rain. You blink, and the vision dims, but something in you stays illuminated. At the center of the path is a bridge of woven silver strands. You cross it slowly, not because you must, but because you feel you should. Above you, simulated sky begins to shift. It isn't Earth's sky. It's deeper, richer, patterned with constellations that are half remembered and half invented. You sit on a quiet bench where the glass floor curves upward, forming a dome around you. Reflections of memory blossoms and soft star trails drift across the surface like thoughts moving slowly. Another traveler sits opposite you, their eyes closed, a smile flickering on their face as their hands rest over a softly glowing seed pod. You feel no need to speak. Their moment is theirs, and yours has just begun. You rest your hands on your lap, and without meaning to, you remember. A time you let someone down. A time you forgave someone. A time you forgave yourself. The garden responds. Light changes from warm amber to soft blue, and one blossom overhead releases a single glowing petal. It floats down and lands on your shoulder. You close your eyes. The air shifts, a sound like wind in silk, and you are moved, not to a new room, to a new part of yourself. When you open your eyes again, you are still on the bench. The garden is still humming. But now, the path forward reveals itself. A softly illuminated staircase spiraling downward into a corridor of velvet shadow. The petals guide your way, vanishing one by one behind you as you descend. And ahead, more to discover. The staircase curves like time itself, not rushed, not straight. You descend into a soft hush, where the walls glisten with threads of slow-moving light. The temperature cools. Not cold, just enough to make your thoughts settle. At the bottom, the corridor opens into a wide chamber marked by a single sign, Observatory of Echoes. No doors, no guards, just an invitation in the stillness. You step through. Inside, the space widens into a perfect sphere of seamless crystal. There are no corners, no lights, no shadows, just the slow-turning stars above. Not a projection, not a screen, but a true window to the cosmos. You are suspended in space, not metaphorically, literally. The observatory floats within its own gravitational pocket, tethered to nothing but memory and music. A soft platform rises to meet your feet, adjusting with each step. At the chamber's center, a large sphere rotates slowly in the air. A model of the solar system, each planet humming at a unique resonance frequency. Earth is there, so small, so familiar. Its hum is quiet, almost hesitant. You watch as it spins slowly beneath a web of shifting auroras. Then you notice one of the rings of Saturn is missing, but not absent, rearranged. Someone has encoded a song into it, a visual score. Harmonic lines ripple through the model, whispering notes from every orbit. Then the stars change. The chamber shifts subtly. You feel the air draw close. You're not alone. Others are here now. Passengers like you. No one speaks, but you feel their presence like the warmth of nearby candles. They take turns stepping into the center of the room. When each one does, the sphere responds. Their memories spark patterns in the sky. Not video, not dreams. Essence. A man steps forward, hands trembling, and suddenly the stars glow with the shape of a river. A child's laughter echoes, not loudly, but just enough to bring a sting behind your eyes. Another traveler closes her eyes, and the sphere bursts briefly into flame. Not hot, but radiant. The glow shows the outline of hands releasing something. A scarf, a letter, a regret. Then, your turn. The others make space. The sphere slows its motion. It waits. You take a breath and step into the circle. At first, nothing. Then, a pulse. The lights dim, and from the chamber walls comes a sound. Not words, not music, but something in between. It echoes with every time you held your breath, every goodbye you meant to say, every laugh you forgot to remember. The exact feeling of laying on the floor at 2 a.m. while a song played quietly in another room. You don't cry. You feel, and then the sphere glows once more and releases your echo into the stars. The observatory dims. The others begin to leave, one by one. You remain a moment longer, watching your memory join the cosmos. It lingers like a distant lantern on the horizon. Then the floor rises gently beneath you. It's time to continue. The path ahead unfolds, this time made of soft crystal, leading you towards something warmer. You step into it and leave your echo behind. Beyond the observatory, the corridor narrows, then swells again, this time opening into an unexpectedly lush space, the living car. It feels like an atrium, a greenhouse suspended in orbit. The walls are covered in slowly breathing vines that pulse with bioluminescent veins. Hanging from the ceiling are orbs of starlight-infused nectar, which hum softly as if in conversation with the air itself. Tiny, translucent birds, perhaps synthetic, perhaps not, flutter between them, leaving trails of harmonic tone as they pass. To your left, the room of living meals. You step in without hesitation, drawn by something more than scent. There are no waiters, no menus. Instead, long tables stretch outward, and passengers sit in silence, hands resting lightly on polished black surfaces. You choose a seat. It warms to your touch. A glowing disk rises before you. The moment your hand hovers over it, the air shimmers and the room reads you. Not your hunger, your longing, your need for memory. Without warning, the tabletop flickers, and projected before you is the outline of a small dinner table. Wood grain, candlelight, a hand reaching across the surface, laughing. You don't remember this scene exactly, but you remember the feeling. The disc vibrates softly, and the scent of food follows, not synthetic, but perfectly rendered. You close your eyes and take a breath, and there it is, a bowl of something warm, something that feels like a late night after rain, like a conversation you once needed but never had. You raise the first spoonful. It dissolves before it reaches your lips. That's the point. It's not nourishment, it's recognition. You are reminded that you were here, that someone once cared, that the version of you who was hungry, once emotionally, spiritually, is still worthy of comfort. Others around the room experience the same in silence. A traveler across from you clutches a spoon midair, trembling as they recognize the face of someone they thought they had forgotten. There is no shame, only reverence. You finish. The dish vanishes. A soft tone rings, not to hurry you, but to thank you. You rise. Next door, a narrow corridor labeled Memory Threads. This space is different. You pass into a library, but not of books, but of hanging fibers, almost like seaweed suspended in air. Each one glows faintly, swaying in some invisible breeze. As you pass near them, you hear soft sounds, laughter, music, heartbeat rhythms. Some threads are warm to the touch, others feel like static. Each holds a memory donated by a traveler who came before you. You're allowed to listen. You place your hand near one, and the fiber curls toward you like ivy. A vision flickers. A child letting go of a balloon in a field of tall grass. A song hummed by someone while brushing their hair. A farewell at a station that isn't this one, but could have been. You don't know whose memory it is, but you understand it. Somehow, you move from thread to thread, not gathering, just experiencing. They don't stay with you, but they change the way you feel when you walk. At the end of the corridor, you see one empty thread, unlit, waiting. You hesitate, then extend your fingers toward it. It awakens, and your own memory, the one you weren't aware of until now, begins to play quietly inside it. A room with open windows, a long-forgotten song on a cassette, a moment of peace so still you almost missed it. The thread absorbs the memory and begins to glow. Your story now lives here gently, without judgment, to be felt by another someday. The corridor beyond the memory threads fades into darkness, not oppressive but vast. The air becomes stiller, and your footfalls quiet themselves, as if the train itself is listening. You pass beneath a curved arch. Above it, the lounge of shared dreams. A low chime sounds. It isn't an invitation, it's an alignment. Your pulse slows without trying. Inside, the room is vast and softly illuminated, ceilingless. The walls open to simulated sky, alive with drifting nebulas. It's hard to tell what's real anymore, which stars are out there, and which are only dreams projected into the dome. Travelers lie in circular beds, scattered like constellations across the lounge. Each is encased in a thin halo of light, not enclosing, but enhancing. Some rest with eyes closed. Others are already dreaming. You can tell by the way the air bends subtly around them, flickering with their subconscious expressions. You step toward an open bed. It's shaped like a ripple in water, wide, soft, suspended just above the floor. You lie down. Your breath matches the rhythm of a tone pulsing gently through the air. Above you, the dream tapestry begins to flicker. This is no ordinary dream sharing. The lounge doesn't broadcast images. It distills them. Each passenger's internal world, reduced, refined, woven into the shared ceiling like a quilt of light and motion. You see it now. A city made of mirrors, floating in upside-down gravity. A forest that breathes when you sing to it. A fox with crystal fur darting through water made of memory. You exhale, and without knowing, your own dream rises to join the weave. Yours is quieter, a long hallway, a table set for someone who never arrived, the scent of clementine and graphite. It doesn't demand attention, but it is seen. A traveler nearby turns in their sleep, and the fox from earlier drifts toward them. They smile faintly. The lounge hums. For a while, nothing happens. That's the point. Time softens. Boundaries blur. You are not dreaming. You are resting inside the echo of hundreds of dreams, each resonating just enough to be felt, never fully seen. And then the chime returns. You sit up. The fox is gone. So is the city, the forest, the girl. Only stars remain. You step into the corridor again. Ahead, another chamber, smaller this time, humming with a very different energy. A brushed metal arch reads, "The Chamber of Thought Forms." The doorway opens not because you approach, but because you decide. Inside, a long, narrow space. The walls are black, reflective, shifting like oil on glass. Hovering throughout the room are shapes, strange, moving, incomplete. These are not sculptures. They're not projections either. They're thoughts, not the kind you say out loud, not even the ones you notice in your own mind. These are fragments, mental runoffs, conceptual seeds that passengers once held briefly and let go of, only to have them manifest here. A stone made of fire that doesn't burn. A door that hums but never opens. A staircase that bleeds light instead of shadow. They hover like ghosts of imagination, half formed, half forgotten. You walk among them. One pulls you closer. It looks like a bird's nest made from pages of a journal you never wrote. The words shift when you try to read them. Another seems to follow you, a compass with no needle, but which vibrates stronger the closer you come to understanding something unspoken. You reach out to touch a form that resembles a window into dusk, but just before you connect, it flinches. That's when you realize they're not just from other people. Some of these are yours, ones you never knew you released, ideas you almost had, wonders you never dared name. You kneel beside one, a marble made of music, and listen. It hums with a memory you haven't made yet. Then, without prompt, the chamber darkens slightly, and all the thought forms drift gently upward, toward a slit of violet light near the ceiling. They dissolve. Nothing here is held forever. It's all just passing through. You leave without regret. You never came to keep, only to witness. The corridor brightens as you walk forward. You feel the train begin to curve as if nearing something sacred. The corridor narrows. Its walls become translucent, gradually shifting from soft metal to faceted crystal. The light here refracts with intention, not chaotic, not decorative. It bends around you like memory finding a path. You arrive at a gate, no door, just an archway of gently humming stone. Above it glows a name that wasn't there before. The crystalline spire. You walk through. It's tall, impossibly so, and hollow. The chamber spirals upward endlessly, lined with steps that seem carved from frozen lightning. Light refracts upward and downward, as if the spire is a prism caught between two moments, the one you left behind and the one you haven't met yet. The walls are not walls. They are time, slowed and folded. Across the surface of the spire flicker images not moving, not still of lives, not your own, not entirely, but familiar. You see, a version of you who stayed, a version of you who left sooner, a you who said yes, a you who said no. Each echoes for only a heartbeat, then fades. You begin to walk the spiral. The incline is gentle, the air is thin, laced with ionized calm. As you ascend, each step adjusts to your balance, keeping your weight centered, your breath deep. You pass alcoves, etched into the spire's body, observation pockets, where past passengers have paused. Some are still here, seated in silence, eyes closed, surrounded by floating shards of light that orbit their heads like satellites of thought. You don't disturb them. As you climb higher, you notice inscriptions carved into the crystal in dozens of forgotten alphabets. One line pulses when you near. The future doesn't wait at the top. It listens to who you become as you climb. You reach the midpoint. Here, a bridge spans the spire, narrow, woven of translucent lattice, leading to a floating platform at the core of the structure. You cross. Each step beneath you vibrates gently, singing different notes depending on your pace. It's not music, it's alignment. At the platform's center, a tall, clear obelisk. It glows faintly. Waiting, you approach. Inside the obelisk, your reflection, but not of your face, of your journey. Every chamber, every silence, every glimpse of someone else's dream, it's all here, moving slowly within the core. The light folds, the air calms. A soft presence fills the space beside you. Not a guide, not a person, just recognition. And then it speaks. Not with words, with knowing you are ready. The obelisk dissolves, and a doorway appears in the space it held. Beyond it, nothing. Not void, not emptiness, just the edge. You step through. The train no longer hums beneath your feet. You float, not untethered, but welcomed. This is the edge of time. You feel it before you see it. The way air changes before a storm. The gravity shifts. Breath feels easier. And before you, the heliopause, where the sun's influence ends, where space begins. Truly, finally. The stars are denser here, no longer distant. They press closer, like petals gathering around a candle. You hear something, a vibration too slow to be music, too steady to be silence. It's not sound. It's permission. You've reached it. The end of the train. The edge of known thought. And beyond it, possibility. You sit on the final platform, a circle of soft dark stone surrounded by curved glass that shows nothing but the living sky. Others arrive behind you. No one speaks. Some cry. Some laugh. Most simply close their eyes. And then, above you, the stars shift. Just slightly, a shape forms, one only you recognize. from childhood, from a dream, from a wish you never said aloud. It lingers, then fades. You breathe in, you breathe out. You are not asked to leave. You are not told what to do. The train has given you only what you needed, and taken nothing but your stillness in return. You sit at the edge. There is no gate here, no final sign, no conductor to usher you forward. Just the vast hum of the universe, not cold, not loud, but endless. The stars before you do not twinkle. They breathe. Behind you, the entire journey, the observatory, the lounge of dreams, the shared meals, the thought forms, the choices. You glance back and see no tracks. The train does not wait. It does not return. It continues, without you, slowly, reverently, into the stars. You are not left behind. You are held here. The chamber of returnless silence isn't a room. It's a state of being. You stand, and for the first time, truly understand that no one will tell you what happens next. You may stay. You may dissolve into memory. You may walk forward into the impossible. You may wake. Each is valid. Each is honored. You kneel, not out of reverence, but presence. And the edge answers. The stars form around you, softly, gradually, into a circle, not to enclose you, to witness. You feel yourself becoming lighter, not in body, but in need. No gravity, no questions, no pain. You are the breath between worlds. You don't say goodbye. There is no door, just quiet. And then nothing changes, but everything has. You feel something different, not remembered, not forgotten, just quieter. Somewhere in the space between sleep and motion, they recall a train, a hum, a thread of starlight, a window full of dreams, and a single phrase that lingers like a final note. Even the edge is not alone. The universe shifts, soft as breath, wide as possibility. You did not arrive to end. You arrived to begin. For now you belong here, but the story isn't finished yet. Take your rest first. No rush. I will be waiting here, and when you are ready, we hop on the train again. Good night, dreamer. Sleep well.